Hi, welcome to Paranormal Kativity. Today I want to talk about phantom breathing sounds, and the reason being would be that I heard some the other day, and it prompted me to do some research, and now it turns out I'm not the only one that hears this weird breathing sound, so I had to share it with you guys first of all, but I also wanted to share some of the things I found online and the possible reasons behind them. So what happened the other day was, I was doing some research for YouTube videos. I was sitting at the computer in the office, and I start hearing breathing. And it's just very slow, steady, calm, in and out breathing. Nothing weird about it. It didn't have any like throat chest sounds to it. It didn't sound male or female. It just sounded like breathing. And at first I thought maybe it was myself. So I kind of changed my own breathing pattern to see if I was hearing it just in a weird way, but it wasn't me. Like I would stop breathing or breathe at a different time and it was still happening at the same rhythm. So at the time Alex was asleep and I thought, well, maybe I'm hearing Alex like somehow sound moving. Sounds like it's happening near me in the office sitting at the desk, but really it's in here in the bedroom. So I get up from the desk and I start walking towards the doorway in the office, and as I get closer to the door, I can't hear it anymore. And so that's weird to me already because I'm like, well, you would think if it's coming from anywhere, it'd be the rest of the house. But I open the door and I listen and we have the fan going in here. So all I hear is the fan. So it wasn't Alex breathing and it wasn't our dog Saxon breathing. There was just the fan sound out here. So I shut the door and I go sit back at the desk and it's still there. And it's still just slow, peaceful, calm, deep in and out breathing. And so I listened for a while. I'm trying to think of any other possible thing that I'm hearing. The only thing I can think is like maybe it's the neighbor, but really to hear our neighbors you have to be very loud. So the only way I'd be able to hear breathing from the neighbor's place would be if they had like really insane snoring. But like I said, it didn't have like a snore quality to it. It was just the breath. So I out loud said like, hey, if something's here, I hear you breathing, but you're gonna have to do more than that if you want to get my attention. And nothing happened. It just kept breathing. And it went on for I don't even know how long, because after long enough, I was so distracted by the sound that I had to turn on a podcast and listen to my brother and me instead of listening to the breathing sound because it was too distracting and I was just focusing on that instead of what I needed to focus on. So I don't even know how long it lasted. But the situation in the office, the way it was set up, I've been in there so many times where I've never heard that before. And just today, like earlier today, I was sitting in there with nothing on. There was no sounds. The only thing that you could hear is the computer running. And the computer just has like a constant quiet hum. And I know it's not either of the computers in there, it's none of the fans. Even whenever fans start to like have a rhythm to them instead of just a tone, like they don't have like a compression in and out sound to them. So like I have no idea what the sound was at all. Everything that I tried to think of that would debunk it didn't really like give me any information. And then like when it came to paranormal stuff, like I have my haunted dolls, right? They always stay in here and the sound was definitely in there, not in here at all. Now the only other thing I wanted to note about the experience itself is I never really felt scared at all. No fear came over me whatsoever. It was more of just like an awareness and a curiosity, and then after it would not stop and it just kept going for an extended period of time, I was like, alright. And then I got a little weirded out that it couldn't stop and I couldn't figure out what it was to like address it directly, either here or get some kind of response otherwise. Like it just wouldn't quit. So it was more of like a weirded out feeling than any kind of like fear. Overall, whenever I looked online, it seemed like most people who've experienced this themselves also had the feeling of just awareness of the sound, but not really fear, and just kind of like a peace about it. Like it wasn't anything scary. But when it came to like people trying to address what could have been the paranormal cause of it, like most people just jumped to like, it's dark energy, you need to call a priest and have an exorcism and cleanse your house and all of this crazy stuff, but they never said why. Like they never said any reason as to why the breathing sound would connotate something dark or evil. Like it didn't make any sense to me. You'd think that there'd be like a rhyme or reason to that thought pattern, but no, it seemed just completely fear driven. So in my mind, that's like pretty dismissible as just people who don't really understand abnormal, paranormal, supernatural activity, and they just assume all of it's evil, right? The only other concept that I've found where people were throwing it out there that was a paranormal theory was that it was an other dimensional being, and more specifically, a few people had said a fourth dimensional being. But they didn't really say anything outside of that. Like, nothing really, like, to indicate why it was a fourth dimensional being or why it was something evil. Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I wanted to kind of put it out here to see if maybe you guys have heard of anybody hearing phantom breathing, or if you've experienced it yourself, and like what you think it might be, or any theories that you've heard of as to what that might mean. There were a couple of very rational possibilities of why I could have been hearing what I was hearing, which could also be possible. I don't really think they necessarily are in my case, but they could be. One was tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, which also could be like humming or buzzing. And in like the document I was reading, it could be, or any other noise. And I'm like, oh, well, that really narrows it down. Thank you, internet. But overall, I just was like, well, I guess it could be tinnitus, but it wasn't really like a ringing sensation to me. Like I do experience that from time to time whenever you're in a quiet environment, is usually when you hear it the most. But that's like a tone to me whenever I experience it. It's not something with like a breath motion, at least in what I've experienced that I know of as being tinnitus. I also read that certain cases of people with tinnitus will have them having it have a rhythm, like it'll match with their heartbeat, which could be maybe why I was hearing it in like a breath pattern, because like even when you change your breathing pattern, I'm sure it doesn't really change your heartbeat that much, and if it's going in a similar rhythm to the heartbeat, maybe that would make sense. So I mean, it is possible, but it just, I don't know. If it is, I was unfamiliar, I guess. The other thing that it said it could be is auditory hallucinations, which most of them said was hearing voices, which you guys know I believe in spooky stuff, and I have heard voices before, and so I was like, oh great, hopefully I'm not just having auditory hallucinations. But the way that it was described, it seems much more like voices inside your head kind of voices, and I really don't experience this that often, so I don't think that's what this was. But it did say that it could be hearing things outside of yourself, so it doesn't necessarily have to be voices. It also said that if you do experience auditory hallucinations, a lot of the time it's due to some kind of factor, so it could be like a high stress level, anxiety, some type of influence of like drugs or alcohol, but I didn't have any like outside influences. I wasn't overly stressed or thinking about anything that was really weird. Like even though I was doing research about paranormal topics, like I wasn't scared. I do this stuff all the time, you know what I mean? So it wasn't anything outside of my norm to where I would feel overly different or hyped up or creeped out or anything. So, I mean, there could be logical explanations, there really could, but to me, I've never experienced anything like that before, and I've been in the same situation multiple times, and I tried to debunk it in the moment. I really did, and there was nothing. So that's the only real paranormal experience I've had recently. And I had to share it with you guys in case maybe I'm not the only one. So if you've experienced hearing breathing from no real source and have any ideas, concepts, theories as to what it could be, I would love to hear them. So please leave me comments and let me know your experiences with this, or just your thoughts on it in general. If you haven't experienced it, but you have an idea of what it could be, please tell me. Now outside of that, I did get some stuff in my P.O. box this week, so I wanted to open some things and say some thank yous. I got something in my P.O. box from the Netherlands. How cool is this? And like, look at the cool little stamps on it. Whoa, what all is in here? Oh my, there's so many neat things. What is this? This looks like washi tape. Seashells and sparkle and sigils. Oh, cool. I have some pictures of churches and cemeteries. Always exciting. They're asking how my house spirit Mozzie is doing. I haven't had any more Mozzie encounters that I know of. Every time I play with Kiana though, it seems like we get a hint of Mozzie, so pretty good I think. And they hope my dolls are doing well. They are, thank you. The little, oh, this is a protection pouch for me and Alex and our whole house. That's so sweet, thank you. Thank you so much, Estelle, for all of the sweet goodies. I very much appreciate it. And I have a package from my Swedish friend Kat with things to consume, so let's see if it will be good or terrible. Because sometimes on these, you never know. All right. Since the last time she sent me something, I've become like straight up obsessed with sparkly water. Don't know why, don't know what changed. It just magically did. So I'm gonna try this, and I'm pretty pumped about it. It's like if you had a 7-Up and you stirred it a couple times with a fudgesicle. Overall good though, I enjoy it. And then she said this stuff was for Alex, but I'm trying it first. We have the creepiest little guy on this package. And I can't read Swedish, so we're just gonna try this. Oh, they smell good. Sour. Kind of tastes like Crybabies. The Crybaby hard candies that were like teardrop shaped. Kind of tastes like that. Different consistency when you chew it. That's good stuff. I enjoy that. Crazy Fizzy, Crazy Face, Seriously Bubblicious Candylicious? What? Blue or brown? I guess I'll try blue. You can kind of chew it. No. Oh god, I don't have a place to put this. The blue one tastes like grape and I hate grape. Ugh. Let's try the brown one. That one kind of tastes like Coca-Cola. I'm also not super hot on Coca-Cola, but it's deal-withable. Like sour Coca-Cola. That's weird. The more sour it gets, the less I don't like it. So the sour's good. It's quite interesting. That one's fun. I like that. Oh, more of these. Okay. Mad Sour Crazy Face, Greenest Apple, and Lemon Squeezy. I love lemon. Lemon's delicious. Good choice on that one. Ooh. Green's nice. Good choices on candy this time, Kat. I know Alex will be quite pleased, so thank you very much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Estelle and Kat for sending me cool things in my P.O. box. I very much appreciate it. And please do, like I said, tell me anything that you got about this whole phantom breathing thing. I've really never experienced anything like it before, and it's weird. It's just weird. So let me know if I'm nuts, or let me know if this is like something you've dealt with before and what you think it might be. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video, please and thank you. And subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on notifications, that way you get notified every time I upload. I'm Kat, and this is Paranormal Kativity. Have a strange day. Bye!